What's good, guys? Back at it again with the in-depth breakdown. It's going to be a nice little segment that I'm going to make prior to big UFC events. Very close fight odds and very close matchmakings, like such as this one, which takes place at UFC Vegas 98, Royval versus Taira. This is going to be the in-depth breakdown. We're going to go over each and every single aspect, each and every single exchange, and what could happen in the following exchanges as we lead up into this fight. One thing I want to mention is Brandon Royval is the underdog, but he's a number 3 contender versus number 6. This is arguably could be a number 1 contender fight, and the winner of this could get the title shot. So this has real solid implications in this fight. Not only does it have really solid implications, but in an interview from Shaq MMA, Tatsuro Taira said that he hasn't had anybody tell him that this could be a title shot, but he wants to win in notable fashion so that way he can call out Pantoja. So he's already looking ahead. I don't know if that's bad or good, but we know majority typology has him favored to win. So does the bookies. We're going to talk about Royval first, and then we're going to talk about Tatsuro Taira, and we're going to talk about each and every single one of the aspects and different aspects of their styles. When these guys clash, it's going to be amazing. One thing I wanted to mention was Brandon Royval is an absolute demon. Dude, I just love watching this guy's tape study. Dude, this tape study, I know it's blurry, but this was when he was in LFA. He is the guy in the blue. So, we're going to go over this. This is going to be pretty fast. But I have a bunch of clips from Royval and a bunch of clips of Tatsuro Taira, and we're going to see how they match up. This is the first round, by the way. As soon as this guy goes for a kick body, he immediately capitalizes it by catching the body kick, going into a takedown, and that knee is his best weapon in his entire arsenal. Dude, you're going to see a lot of his finishes are from his bottom half or his elbows. It's insane how fluid he is when he gets into his moment. Let's just let this clip play. Catches the body kick, goes in for a takedown, knee up the middle, hurts him, he's running away, catches him with a kick to the face. Royval is that dude. He starts off crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts off like this at the beginning of round 1 against Tatsuro Taira. One thing we want to mention was when Alex Perez was getting clinched by Tatsuro Taira, Alex Perez was landing uppercuts and overhands in the clinch. So he was having a lot of success. One more thing I want to show is another fight. I believe this was LFA 79. And right off the gate, this guy's running at him. Throws a knee up the middle. He's trying to catch it. He tried to go for a takedown. Dude, this guy threw a knee in the middle. Bro, this guy throws a knee almost every single one of his fights. Throws a knee, capitalizes on it, throws a switch kick. He gets taken down to the ground, is on the bottom half, is exploding with elbows, trying to get the best of his control. This guy's trying to go around him, trying to get on top, has the ground and pound position, getting wrapped up into an armbar after defending the arm the arm triangle. I don't even think it was an arm triangle. It was a butterfly. It's insane how much stuff this guy throws off the ground. This guy is one of the most exciting fighters to watch from not only tape study, but just to sit back and just enjoy one of these fights. This guy is an LFA champion, and rightfully so. This guy is a demon. I want to let this play. I want to pause it right here. He knew he was going for the takedown, capitalizes off it, and his right knee up the center is money. It's just money all over it. Capitalizes off of it. Tries to go for a submission right there. He's trying to escape. His opponent's trying to escape. As his opponent's trying to escape, he wraps up his arm. So one thing we have to pay attention to is if Tatsuro Taira is taking this guy down, you got to be aware for these submissions. You have to be aware from these submissions because this guy tapped in seconds. That was 2 submission attempts after a flying knee. So this guy is insane. He starts off fast. One of his most notable wins was his win against Matheus Nicolau. Cracked him into the top 3. Their hand control fighting. Steps in with his left. And he's also a switch fighter. He's not always fighting in orthodox. He's not always fighting in southpaw. He's fighting in different ways in order to throw off his opponent. Knee up the middle. Just knee of hell. Hits Matheus Nicolau clean on the chin. Capitalized off of it. Before his foot even hits the ground. Okay, Look at how much distance he covers. He's right here, right? Already inside position to strike. And boom, his leg was right here. Gets up, hits the knee while he's trying to go for the counter. Before his foot touches the ground, he's already landing his right hand. Power's not on his side, but volume and intense amount of pressure and overwhelming pace is on this guy's side. Drops Matheus Nicolau, overwhelms him. Matheus Nicolau is still waking up. Vicious elbows, and puts him out. Biggest upset of the year. Right here, he gets dropped by Kai Kara-France. Hard. If you watch this fight, this was one of my very first fights I've ever watched live. I just started to become a UFC fan around here. Hits him over the top. Royval gets right back up, but he still loses a little bit of balance. That's fine. Kai, one thing I want to mention, though. You see that spinning elbow is spinning elbow from hell. One thing we have to mention is Kai Kara-France, 13 first-round finishes. You know this guy comes to fight. So if you can finish a guy like Kai Kara-France, who's coming with phenomenal power, who just finished Steve Erceg inside the first round, this is a phenomenal win. Spinning elbow drops Kai Kara-France. He gets dropped, right? He's losing his balance as he's getting up. And he knows Kai Kara-France is chasing him. Spinning elbow of fucking hell. Drops him. Then a knee that you can kind of say could have been illegal. This knee could have been illegal, but he's capitalizing on it. It's an MMA fight. We gotta go. Throwing up submissions as soon as the opponent gets on him. Covering distance, lands the knee up the middle. That knee is one of his best weapons in his entire arsenal. He's going to be looking for it. He's going to be looking for it against Tatsuro Taira. Hits Kai Kara-France, drops him. Gets him in a guillotine. He wraps the leg first. Kai Kara-France shoots for a big takedown. Gets wrapped up in a guillotine. You got to be crazy. You got to be crazy to be fighting with this guy. You got to be insane. Gets into a guillotine, traps him, repositions, and then he finishes the job. If you can finish a guy like Kai Kara-France, that is very impressive. Very impressive. Liam from Fight Pick, shout out to this guy. He said that he already had Brandon Royval money line. This is a little bit of a better aspect of it. Knocks him down. Drops. Hits him off the clean counter. Hits a knee. Tries to throw up some submissions. Tries to wrap his leg around the guy's arm. And we know how good Kai Kara-France is now. So watching this clip that was years ago is insane to me because this win has aged like a fine wine. And he was able to wrap up Kai Kara-France and submit him. Very tight guillotine. He's not getting out of that. If Tatsuro Taira ends up in a position where he has to go for a desperate takedown, don't be surprised if a guy like Royval can get the sub. One thing I want to mention was, this is how it looks in slow motion. He drops him. Vicious. Insane recovery to be able to get back up and still, you're losing your feet. You can't feel your legs. He can't feel his legs. So what does he do? Bah! He goes for a fucking spinning elbow of hell. Drops him. We had to see that in slow-mo. One of my favorite highlights from Royval. An amazing fighter. And then this is just one aspect that I wanted to show. He lost to Brandon Moreno. I couldn't find clips of the Brandon Moreno rematch. And maybe it's good because I would have got copyright strike. But one thing I want to mention was this was him losing to Brandon Royval. To Brandon Moreno because he hurt his shoulder. It was a very competitive fight before then, though. Very competitive. And a guy like Brandon Moreno, who's a former champion in the UFC, flyweight, is insane. So the fact that you're having competitive fights with a guy like this, you deserve to be in the top 5 of the flyweight division. He's throwing elbows. These guys are fighting for ground position. These are some positions that we can definitely see if Tatsuro Taira tries to take him down, gets swept, gets taken. And something happened to his arm right here. If I can move it. If I can just move this. Something happened to his arm. I think his shoulder popped, and he said that that's a regular occasion, that sometimes his shoulder pops, and then he just has to pop it back in, like a TJ Dillashaw type moment. And he was still fighting. This guy has some of the best heart I've ever seen. His shoulder is popped. He can't use it, and he's still fighting. He's not tapping. He's not doing anything. His shoulder is in immense pain, man. When I saw this, I was like, wow, this guy's going to be a problem. And now we go to Tatsuro Taira. One thing I want to mention was this is a very unique style from him. This is a very good style from him where he gets the body where he gets the leg locks, body triangle, and he leans back. He leans back in order to move your whole body, and he caused an injury on Alex Perez. This is him training. He looks very good when he's training, has very good hands, comes from Japan, could be one of the first ever male Japanese fighters in the entire continent of Asia. That will be insane. He's 24 years old, making his second headlined UFC main event for this Saturday, October 13th. It's going to be fun. I want to show this fight against Carlos Hernandez. I believe this was an amazing fight. Not only was it an amazing fight, but a guy like Carlos Hernandez has beaten guys like Dennis Bondar viciously. So if you're able to beat this guy in a vicious, notable fashion, is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. He hurts him, hits him over the top, drops him. Ground and pound is one of the vicious ground and pound games I've ever seen. But we know a guy like Royval is going to be sweeping. He's going to be looking for full guard. He's going to be looking for submissions. A guy like Carlos Hernandez was still fighting his way out, still trying to get out, still trying to fight, show time. But a guy like Tatsuro Taira, when he senses the finish, guys, he's a guy who's going to finish you, and he's on demon time. He's on demon time, legit demon time. One more clip that I want to show. Very notable from the outside because it gives you a different perspective of how hard he hits, considering he's only fighting at 125 pounds. We look at this. He's entering inside the distance, right straight. Look at how much distance they covered. One thing about these flyweights is that they're so explosive and so fast and so fluid in their movements that this could be a barn burner for 15 minutes. Or this could go quick. It's like you never know what to expect with flyweights. These guys are ready to fight 15 minutes, 25 minutes, and these guys are ready to fight through the grips of hell just to get a win in the flyweight division. Flyweight is becoming one of my favorite divisions now with a guy like this and a guy like Asu Amabayev, a guy like Amir Albazi. It's getting very interesting. Vicious ground and pound. When you look at it from this angle, it looks more brutal. It looks way more brutal from this angle, so I had to bring this angle up, and I had to show how much he capitalizes off of a guy getting hurt within seconds. He hurts him. Within 5 seconds, he's already on the ground. Vicious left hook. Ground and pound. His right hand is money. Landing his right hand over and over and over and over again. And then the fight's over. Vicious ground and pound. Carlos Hernandez was good, man. In my opinion, he still is good, but this was a very, very notable win for a guy like Tatsuro Taira. This is a Tatsuro Taira thread. We're just gonna go over all of his highlights. Look at how he made his way up to this position where he's fighting on October 13th for a title eliminator. Taira leverages trapped arm in a body triangle to land a couple of elbows. So this is him against Candilero. Leverages it, gets the body triangle. One of his best weapons in his arsenal is that body triangle. Vicious elbows as well. Gets the body triangle, takes the back, vicious elbows, knows not to land 12-6. He knows not to land in the back of the head, has great accuracy, and is a finisher. One thing I want to mention, though, is cardio advantage is going to be on Royval's side all day. Taira takes back control from a single leg shot, and Matt returns Vergara. This is CJ Vergara. Takes the back, looks for a mat control, takes him up, suplexes him, kind of, and then gets the control over the top. Very good takedowns. We know a guy like Tatsuro Taira is going to be looking for these single leg transitions to the back mount, then looking for that big takedown to get him onto the ground. You know, a guy like Brandon Royval is not going to stay. He's not going to accept the position on bottom. He's going to work, land elbows, throw up submissions. We know a guy like Tatsuro Taira sets up his takedowns with a high kick and then goes into a deep single leg, turns it into a back control, and then gets the takedown. This is going to be a phenomenal fight. When we look at how he sets up his takedowns, they are very telegraphed. Taira hooks Vergara's rear leg, baiting a trip, then uses the inside foot, positioning a lateral drop. So he goes up top, and then he shoots deep in. Shoots in, leverages it, trying to get under the arm, trying to go around the leg. Knee up the middle. Takes the leg, and beautiful takedown. And these are the takedowns that can hurt you. These are the type of takedowns where you're defending off the fence, and then he slams you on the floor, and you're hurt. Or you hurt a part of your body because of how strong and how forceful it is. This is a mat return that is used with a lot of upper body strength. in order to take him down and body slam him down to the ground, leave him on, and he gets into half guard. Taira uses single leg entry to set up a reverse valley drop. Again, he hooks Vergara's leg to establish inside foot position. One of the best wrestlers from Japan. In my opinion, I love his wrestling exchanges. The only thing is, if Royval attempts a guillotine, he might lock that in because of how telegraphed Taira's takedowns are. Takes the back, always tries to fight for that inside leg. That inside leg is what he loves to get. He tries to sweep it out, sweeps it out, forces Vergara to hit the ground. When he takes out your main leg or one of your main support legs, obviously we only have 2 legs, but if he takes out one of your left leg, it makes it hard for you to keep balance and stay up. Forces that position to the ground, forces the exchange to grapple on the ground. And this is Taira uses a deep half guard sweep to exit through the back door. So this is him on the ground. Let's say Royval goes in for a takedown and tries to take this guy down. Carlos Hernandez gets on top control. He gets under his leg, uses his entire full body strength in order to flip him over and gain a sweep. Fight for that single leg, wrap your arm around his back, and get the takedown. I had to save the best clip for last. In my opinion, I love his transitions, his sweep off the ground, his reversals, his ability to get back up, and his ability to have an amazing amount of resilience. When these guys both get into the octagon, these guys are going to be scrambling, fighting, striking, scrambling, throwing up submissions. It's going to be an insane type of fight when these guys both match up in the octagon. Whoever matched these two up, it was an amazing matchup, and I can't wait to see what Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Royval has to say. I can't wait. The winner deserves a title shot, in my opinion. I know Royval has lost to Pantoja already. We can argue he lost to him twice already. But if you beat a guy like Tatsuro Taira who's undefeated in the UFC, 16-0, you deserve a title shot. I think whoever wins this fight deserves a title shot. Not only do I think they deserve a title shot, but I think it's going to be a very fun fight. UFC Vegas 98, we're getting blessed with a beautiful fight night. And I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I'm happy to go!
My prediction? I'm going Tatsuro Taira to win by submission or decision, 48-47, and I think it might be split. But let's go. May the best man win.
I'm happy to go!
I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's fucking get it. Peace.